Why are you always busy and not making any profits? Now, for a lawyer, I understand. I've talked to hundreds of lawyers, both on my podcast, offline. Some of them became my clients. And I've learned that 80% of the time, you guys are only working on administrative tasks like drafting, like accountancy, like building IT systems, finding the new fancy AI, hiring people, training people, and then obviously fighting the cases which you do. But all those 80% of activities that you do never get billed. And the rest of 20% of the time you're fighting cases. So obviously you will never ever get clients. Sure, referrals are great because once you build a foothold, you have a good networking skills, you build a lot of referral base. But that's not predictable. And anything that's not predictable is not marketing, because marketing needs to be there so you get predictable leads every single time. Now, the dilemma is that if I don't put my efforts or my input in a certain function of my law firm, it's just going to go down. Well, that's not true. Not always, specifically if you have a team. But if you're solo, you need to understand that, sure, you need to wear a lot of hats. A lot of hats. Yet, the biggest hat that you need to wear is to market yourself, to learn sales. Now, both functions are different, but they are interrelated. So if your marketing is bad, you're not going to get any leads. And you're not making any sales unless you pick up your phone and start calling people or send thousands of cold emails. But the point is, you realize that, I see this lawyer. He's my competitor. He does a lot of LinkedIn networking. Well, LinkedIn networking is now the new name of putting AI slop on your posts. And honestly, read your posts yourself. Bragging about a case you've won, bragging about an employee you've fired, bragging about a partner you've onboarded, it's not going to get you clients. The clients do not care about what achievements you have. They care about whether you can solve their problem or not. And honestly, how would they know? Do you remember what post you made 2 weeks ago? Do you even remember what content you put on LinkedIn, on Instagram, TikTok a year back? You can't. Because that's buried deep into AI slop that everybody's posting. And how many times have you searched on Instagram, on LinkedIn about a problem? Just ask the same question from yourself. So if you haven't searched about your problem on social media, then nobody is really searching about it. People do not even have the intent. On LinkedIn, people want to sell you something. People want to get jobs. They're not there to get your services as a lawyer. Then why are you wasting 10, 20 hours every week on LinkedIn, posting stuff that never converts? Rather than think about it. If you could have built your presence on platforms where people can search, and the best platform out there would be YouTube. You made a video like 1 year ago about how people can get fast track divorces. Or you talked about what to do when you get into a car accident. That video is there and will be there unless you delete it. And now when people search on YouTube or even on Google, your video can surface. Because that matches the intent of the user who wants to buy your services, who wants to be your client. Now, you're not making any content for them. You're just making content on LinkedIn for yourself so that you get a lot of following that never really converts. Half of them or 90% of them are basically people who are selling you something. Some people are selling you window cleaning, some people are selling you digital marketing services, some people are trying to build you a new website. Look at your connections. And then you're thinking, oh, what I'm going to do is I don't go there to pitch for my services. What I do is I build an authority so other people can refer cases to me. Well, look at your chat history. How many lawyers you have engaged in past month? You find most of them are in the similar position as you. They're looking for more cases. Why would they give you any cases? Now, think about it in a different way. You make one video every week. That's extremely helpful. You don't get a lot of views. Just like when I invited Nancy Cavey, a wonderful human being. She was running a disability law. And she told me she makes tons of videos. And I asked her, you don't get a lot of views, right? You can watch the podcast that's on my channel. And she said, views don't matter because the people, the 10, 15, 30, 40, 50 people watching me are far more likely to become my customers than posting on LinkedIn. Look at her LinkedIn. Go and search Nancy Cavey, disability law. You'd find out that she rarely posts anything on LinkedIn. But what she posts on LinkedIn is the new video that she has made. She posts about a new article she has written on her website. Now I'm going to come towards the website, but for now, we need to understand that you need to create a content that's yours forever. And now creating content on YouTube isn't just about getting clients directly from YouTube, but driving the traffic from YouTube to your website. Now, here's the thing about website. You got your website made by somebody on Fiverr, or maybe you paid an agency thousands of dollars, and now it's just sitting there because you thought SEO is too slow. I just don't need SEO. I need referrals. When I do get referrals, I need to show them that, oh, I have a fancy website. I'm a big lawyer. You need a website. Well, that's a terrible, terrible waste of money. Because your website can be the best source to acquire leads. Now, hear me out on this. I met this person. She was a lawyer in Toronto. She wouldn't find time to meet her kids. She wouldn't find time to go meet their teachers. She wouldn't find time to spend with her family. Yet, when I told her about everything that I'm telling you, she did not take an action. And I met her in November 2025. I saw her website just recently and still sitting there with nothing on it, no traffic. And now, if she had just listened to me and not even hired me and started posting content rather on LinkedIn, which she does now often, really often, probably every day, she might not be trying to quit her profession. She might not be that hungry to get clients because, frankly, she wasn't getting any clients other than referrals from other people. When you put a piece of content that's highly relevant to somebody who's searching on any of the search engines, whether it's LLMs, whether it's Google search or Yahoo search or Bing or DuckDuckGo, your content is going to surface when it matches the user's intent and query. Your LinkedIn post will never ever surface. So why are you putting all your effort on LinkedIn, wasting 10, 20 hours every week, when you could use that to write a really good research-backed, fact-backed content on your website? Now you see, when you have both the channels, the SEO done and the YouTube sort of drives the traffic because you can leave the links to download a guide. Guide could be, what do you do in a slip and fall injury? And that person reads that guide, downloads that guide in an exchange of an email. Now you have built your own email list. You can send them newsletters through automation. You can send them personalized emails once a month, maybe in 2 months or 3 months. And you're always in their minds. So whenever they feel like they need a specific service, they remember you rather than just searching around. The other ways which people do, they start thinking that because SEO is too slow or YouTube is so slow, and if I start YouTube today, it's going to take a lot of time. Sure, it's going to take 1 year, maybe 6 months, maybe 2 years. But the time flies really fast. So if you don't start today, in next 6 months, you realize that now you got to put efforts again for 2 years now because you've wasted half a year already. So now it becomes 2.5 years, not 2 years. The sooner you start, the better it is for you because you need consistent leads. And there's no better channel, to be very honest. But then people think, okay, because it's too slow, I'm going to go through ads. Now, sure, ads are great. They can give you instant leads, but not all leads are equal. They are junk leads. They're bad leads, leads you don't want to work with. And at the end of the day, you learn that you spent like $10,000 on ads, and then you've got 2 clients who have spent $10,000 with you. What did you get at the end? Nothing. Because you just paid Google and then the clients paid for your services. You have made no profits. And you're thinking, how do I pay my rent? How do I pay the salaries for all people working for me? And then you're chasing different fancy objects like getting an AI chatbot, thinking maybe, oh, that's going to help me convert something. But how will a chatbot convert people on your website if the chatbot gets no traffic at all? That's funny, and it's sad. So if you are not ready to hire somebody and you're in a position where you don't have a lot of money, then start investing your time by doing it yourself. And it's not that hard. It's very, very simple. Think about what questions people need to be answered. Think about what type of content your competitors that you should know about are writing. Write better content. And sooner or later, you realize that it's very simple. The informational queries go on your blogs. The commercial queries go on your service pages, and you link them together. That's all you got to do. Now, I'm sure there are strategies which SEOs, implement. But those strategies, if you don't have money, it doesn't mean that you should not start it on your own. You started LinkedIn because it was easy, but you could do this as well because it converts more. And once you have money, you don't have to get an agency that charges you tens of thousands of dollars. You could get an agency that understands your practice area, that understands the marketing rules by American Bar Association, specifically 7.1, where you cannot make false claims. You cannot make claims that give false impression. And you could beat your competitors because you understand the locality, the questions people are asking, you're in the same industry. Just keep on writing good content, even if it's just once a week. And that's more helpful to you and your clients if you think about it. So what you're going to do today is just take out a notepad, whether on your iPad or just a Google sheet or a piece of paper, and write down what do you do in your whole day. Do you waste time on administrative tasks? Do you waste time on talking to your team on things which they could have done themselves? Are you wasting time on accountancy? Are you wasting time on IT systems, looking up for the new fancy AI chatbot or voice agent? Or are you putting enough time to generate your marketing content? Map everything. See how much time you spend on LinkedIn. What is the return from that? How much time do you spend on other marketing channels? What is the return on that? Once you've mapped out everything, then you go look for solutions. That's what you do. That's what everybody should do. And to be honest, that's what I've done. I have put a lot of great guides specifically on closing the loop, data-backed decisions for your law firms and how to take them. And I'm putting the link down in the description. You can just click and download the guides. So if you like the video, subscribe and like. That's going to help me a lot, and share if it's possible. And if you dislike the video, just hit the dislike button. So I know that this is the type of content I should not be making. So thank you for your time. Have a nice day. See you again.